Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to Rise Up Yoga. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey of self-discovery as we explore the Light Seers Tarot and our yoga practice. If you have a yoga block, go ahead and grab one if you'd like, as you'll have the opportunity to use it in practice today. If you don't have one, that's totally okay. You'll be able to do this practice without it. And then when you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable seat on your mat and I'll meet you there. The road of our tarot journey continues to card number 11, Justice, which is the energy of the truth seeker rooted in love. Now, on the quest for truth, justice opens a door to face all parts of ourselves, both light and shadow, so that we can understand our karmic patterns, grow from them, and create balance in all areas of our lives. Now, as justice seeks balance and truth, this also means that any imbalance or mistruths are brought to light, both personally and collectively. But the resulting karma of this unfolding is unbiased and fair. And karma itself is really intertwined with cause and effect, in that what you put out is mirrored back to you in both action and thought. Now, this serves as a path to truth because as we start to become aware of our karmic patterns by living them, then we can choose to change the patterns that don't resonate and keep the ones that align, which can ultimately be very liberating and empowering. So as we hone all of this into today's flow, I invite you to practice your compassionate awareness as you start to uncover the truth of how your actions and your thoughts affect your flow. Now, before we get moving, since that was a lot of information to take in, let's just take the first few moments here to step out of our heads, into our hearts and our bodies, and just step into presence. So you're welcome to bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly if that feels supportive to you. Otherwise, you can lay your palms on your thighs. Wherever you land, eyes can remain open or you can gently close them. So yogi's choice. As you start to step away from this outside noise and turn within, I invite you to notice your breath. If your hands are on your torso, you can use them as a way to notice where you're breathing in your body. So whether it's more in your upper chest or a lower belly or a mix of both. See if there's any room to soften your shoulders, your hips. Just letting your body know that it's safe to relax. Coming home to yourself, to this present moment with every exhale. So I'll take a few deep breaths together. We'll exhale to prepare. And then inhale through the nose, expand through the belly, through the ribs. through the chest. Breathing in this life force energy with every inhale. And then exhale through the nose. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Soften and allow the day before you and the day ahead of you to melt away. Deep breath in. And nice big exhale. One more inhale. And long exhale. Continue to breathe at your own pace, just knowing your breath is here to support you through your whole practice. If your hands are on your torso, you can relax them and gently start to flutter your eyes open as we come back into the space. You can start to uncross your legs and bring the soles of your feet on the mat, about hip width distance. Slide your palms behind you so they're directly under your shoulders. Your fingers are tracking towards your toes. As you arrive on an inhale, press down through the heels and the knuckles of the fingers. And exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky as we come into a reverse tabletop. Now your gaze can remain facing forwards if that feels the most supportive to you, or if you'd like to start dropping your head gently towards the earth until you come to a point that feels in alignment with your body. Continue to press those hips up towards the ceiling, feeling the strength in the glutes, in the quads, in the shoulders, and this length through the whole front line of the body. One more deep breath in. And on an exhale, gently lower your hips towards the mat, and your chin can carefully come back down towards your chest. Nice, so from here, reach your legs out long in front of you, and again, bring your palms directly below the shoulders. Flex your toes towards your face. On an inhale, reach through the crown of the head as if there's a string pulling the crown of your head up towards the sky. So we create this elongation in the spine, find this nice neutral neck. On your next exhale, hinge your hips forward so we maintain this flat back. And we're using this press into the palms to help create this stretch within the back line of the body. So maybe you feel it more in your legs, in your back. Just bring your awareness towards the feeling that arises for you within this pose. And keep the chest nice and open. And on an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Bring the biceps to wrap around the ears. Exhale, let your arms fall beside your legs, palms faced up. Notice if through this movement, if you started to round forwards and collapsed in the chest. If so, just lift your chest back up slightly, pull your shoulder blades together down your back, and let your arms naturally fall beside your body. We'll take 2 more deep breaths here. Nice. On an inhale, you can lift your chest back up to a neutral position. Swing your legs out to either side of you, and we'll make our way into a tabletop position. As you arrive, press firmly into your knuckles, into the tops of your feet, so we really ground down into the mat. Draw your ribs in towards one another and continue to press your ears away from your shoulders. Start to tuck your toes. On an inhale, peel your knees off of the mat and then press your hips up towards the sky as we meet in a downward facing dog. So you can keep your knees bent here to start and continue pressing into your knuckles so that your tailbone drives towards the back of the mat, really creating a focus on this length all the way from your tailbone up to your fingertips. And from here, if you have any availability to lower your heels towards the mat, you're welcome to do so, even if it's just with the intention of pressing those heels lower. They don't need to meet all the way onto the mat. So just listen to your body. Notice the feelings that arise within this space, whether you feel it more within the back line of the legs. Maybe this is more for you in your shoulders. So every body is different. Deep breath in. On an exhale, travel that right foot towards your hands and gently lower your left knee on the mat. Plant your left palm to the inside of that right foot. Inhale to slide your fingertips all the way up your leg, through the chest, and reach them up towards the sky as we come into this twist. Continue to drop that right shoulder down your back so we create this elongation from finger to fingertip. Exhale, bring your right hand down, back down to the mat. Inhale to peel that chest off of the thigh as we come up into Anjaneyasana, or low lunge. As you arrive, bring your palms to touch at heart center and take a few movements back and forth. As you continue to bring your weight into your right heel, you're starting to open up this stretch within the left hip flexor. And then once you've found some movement, we'll meet in stillness about knee over ankle. Deep breath in as we reach the arms up overhead. Palms are faced towards one another. And then you can take a look up towards the sky, towards your fingertips as we create this expansion through the lower belly. Exhale and drop your hands to frame your foot. Lift the back knee off of the mat. Spin the left toes so that the left foot so it's parallel to the back edge of the mat. Keep that bend in the front knee, and on an inhale, we'll lift the chest off of the thigh and open the arms wide into Warrior Two. So the right arm lengthens towards the top of the mat, left arm reaches towards the back. Now you can lengthen your stance of your Warrior Two by bringing that left foot more towards the back of the mat, if that feels right for your practice. Keep that integrity of the bend in the front knee as you take a look over your right fingertips. Just a few deep breaths here. Notice the effect of staying in these poses for a few breaths at a time. Notice what you can uncover within this space. Inhale to reach your fingertips forwards. Exhale, right hand comes to the top of the right thigh. Left fingertips reach towards the sky to start. And then exhale to lengthen them towards the top of the mat as we come into extended side angle. Notice if your left shoulder is rounding forward and closing off the chest. If so, see if you can drop the left shoulder down your back and stay open. Continue to root down into that back foot, so we're pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Inhale, you can take a look up towards your left fingertips, opening through the throat. Maybe you're starting to feel this heat and this warmth radiate in that front leg. See if you can just notice that sensation for what it is. Inhale to lift up through the chest, coming back into warrior two. Now you can relax your arms to your hands to your hips and heel toe your back foot forward a few steps. So we just shorten the stance a bit. If you have a block and you'd like to use it for half moon, then you're welcome to bring it to the outside of that foot. Wherever you are, bring your left hand to your left hip. Bend into that right knee. On an inhale, hinge your hips forward slightly. Reach your right hand down towards the block or towards the earth. And then lift the left heel up towards the sky. So many moving parts within this pose to start. Staying rooted within that standing leg, using the block as needed for support. Continue to flex your toes of your left foot towards your face and press the heel up towards the sky. Now notice your inner dialogue in the pose. If you're falling out of the pose, how are you treating yourself through this? Do you have supporting, empowering inner dialogue, or is it disempowering and defeating? So just becoming aware of how we treat ourselves on the mat. And take a few breaths and just play around within the pose. So if you fall out of it, see if you can come back into it in a way that serves you. One more breath wherever you are. You got this. And exhale to release the left leg to the mat. Beautiful job as we stand all the way up. You can bring your hands to your hips. Rotate your hips towards the top of the mat. Inhale to reach your arms up nice and high. Exhale as we hinge the hips forwards and let the hands fall to the outside of the right foot. Step that left foot forward to meet the right as we come into forward fold or Uttanasana. Keep a slight bend in the knees and just let the head and the hands relax towards the earth. We'll take 2 breaths. Notice how taking this space of stillness affects your flow. Inhale to lift halfway, hands come to shins or to thighs, Ardha Uttanasana. Draw your shoulder blades together down your back and pull the belly in towards the spine. So we need to make this number 7 shape with the body. Exhale to plant your palms on the mat. Step one foot back and then the other, meeting back in downward facing dog. One breath here, inhale. And big exhale. Next inhale, glide those left toes up towards your hands and relax that right knee onto the mat. Bring the right palm under the right shoulder. Inhale to reach the left fingertips high towards the sky. And continue pressing firmly into that right palm. Notice as you press more, pressing that right shoulder more in towards midline, the effect of that causing any movement within the left arm. One more inhale. And exhale, release the left hand down. Float that right knee off of the mat and rotate the back toes parallel. Inhale as we open up the arms wide, coming into warrior two. Again, yogi's choice to walk that right foot more towards the back of the mat to lengthen the stance and effectively creating more length within the groin. Focus your awareness in the space directly in front of your left fingertips. Notice what happens when you continue to press into the outer edge of that right foot and maintain that bend in the left knee. Inhale to reach your fingers forward. Exhale, left hand to the top of that thigh. Right hand spins as we first meet. That hand reaching towards the sky. And then you can lengthen it forward. So we reach towards the top of the mat and create this long line of energy all the way from foot to finger. Notice if you're dumping your weight into your left hand. If so, use the strength of your core to keep your chest lifted off of the thigh. Option to take a look up towards the fingertips. Deep breath. And nice long exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, start to lift that chest. We'll meet back in warrior two. Soften the hands to the hips and heel toe that back foot forward a few steps. Again, option to grab your block and place it to the outside of that left foot. Keep that integrity of the bend in the front knee. And on an inhale, reach the right heel towards the sky. Left hand reaches down towards the block or towards the earth. And try to keep that right shoulder dropping down towards the mat so that the chest is open towards the side of the mat and not parallel to it. Continue that lift of the right heel towards the sky. Notice that glute activation as you continue pressing and reaching. Two more breaths of playtime. And it really can be an opportunity for playtime in these balancing poses, challenging ourselves with staying in them for extended periods of time in order to grow or to just have fun tipping over. All right, now as you're ready, you can let that right leg relax down towards the mat, and then just let your hands soften. Hips will face towards the top of the mat once more. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, let your hands relax around your left foot as you fold forward, and then step that right foot up to meet your left. This time, make sure your heel or your feet are about hip width distance. Bend through the knees and start to sink the hips slightly down towards the heels. On an inhale, bring your hands to heart center and lift your chest off of your thighs. So we come into Utkatasana, or chair pose. Now continue drawing your ribs in towards one another so we take any arch out of the back. Nice, strong core. Now start to bring your weight into your left foot and your left heel. On an inhale, straighten through the legs and then wrap the right leg over the left. Once you've wrapped that leg over, you can start to sink your hips down towards your heels just a bit. Your right toes can stay on the mat here to start as we prepare for eagle. Inhale to reach your arms forwards. Exhale, bring your right hand under your left arm, and your palms can come to your shoulders, or your hands can wrap around one another until the backs of your hands or palms come to touch. So notice where you're at in your practice and honor your body wherever you're at. Inhale to reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. And then you can start to play around with lifting the right toes off of the mat. Notice the effect of reaching the elbows just slightly higher and sinking the hips just a bit lower. Two more deep breaths. If you're starting to feel this heat, this shake, just know that's natural. Stick with it. And inhale to open the arms out wide and release the leg and the hands by your side. So you can roll out that left ankle a few times, back and forth. And then once you're ready, we'll just come back to this neutral position, feet about hip width distance, and we'll take it to the other side. So weight comes into the right leg, and then we'll wrap that left leg over the right. Toes touch on the mat. Inhale to reach your arms forwards. This time, left hand or left arm comes onto your right, palms to shoulders, or playing with the hands wrapping around one another. Inhale to lift the elbows and sink the hips just a bit more. Bring your focus to a non-moving focal point so that you can help with your balance. On an inhale, lift the left toes off of the mat if that feels accessible to you. And stay active in the core to help maintain that center of balance. Bring a focus to your inner dialogue now. Without necessarily trying to change anything, first just becoming aware and noticing how that dialogue either supports or disempowers. On an inhale, open the arms wide like an eagle unfolding its wings. And let your left foot relax, arms relax by the side. Beautiful job. You can roll out that right ankle. And then we'll all meet at the top of the mat, feet about hip width distance. Inhale as you reach your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Our arms are engaged, pulling the biceps near the ears. Palms are actively faced towards one another. Deep breath in. And big exhale as we melt it forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana as we lift halfway. Exhale, plant the palms on the mat. Bring one knee back and then the other. We'll just meet in tabletop briefly. Once you arrive, you can start to bring your hips towards your heels and gently come all the way to a seated position. And just scoot your way to the top of the mat so that you have enough room behind you to lay down. On an inhale, reach through the crown of your head, soften the shoulders down your back. Exhale, slowly start to lower your spine all the way down onto the mat. And then walk the soles of your feet closer in towards your hips. As we move into a legs up the wall pose, if you have a block and you'd like to put it under your hips, you're totally welcome to. I sometimes like that is a little extra lift, but you can do this pose with or without a block. On an inhale, we'll all reach the knees in towards the chest. You can give yourself a big body hug as we just hold an Appanasana, holding ourselves, our bodies, and our experience. Inhale to reach the heels up towards the sky as we straighten out through the legs. Your arms can relax by your sides, or they can reach out like a T shape so you can get a bit of extra focus in the wingspan. Now flex your toes towards your face and know that your knees can be bent. Really, the focus of this pose is to allow this blood flow and oxygen to move from our lower extremities to our upper extremities, providing a stress relief, allowing ourselves to calm and ground. Especially after a class where we really worked a lot into our legs. Just using this pose to balance out our body like a rain stick. One more breath wherever you are. And slowly start to relax the soles of the feet on the mat. If you had the block, you can move it out from under your seat, and we'll meet in Shavasana. So you can reach your legs out long in front of you. Just take up space on your mat. Your arms can rest by your sides, palms faced up. And you have the option to close your eyes or just take a soft focus up towards the sky or the ceiling. And taking these next few moments, a minute or two, to just be in silence and just be in this full process of receiving and allowing. You can start to awaken through your fingers and your toes as you just find a bit of movement. Bringing this movement into the wrists and the ankles. And take your head to the left and to the right as we bring a bit of spaciousness into the neck. You can reach your arms up overhead, getting this big body stretch and finding this length all the way from toes to fingers. On your next exhale, you can choose a side to roll onto as we come into fetal pose, just allowing your bicep to support your ear. We'll just take about 2 breaths here in stillness. I invite you to notice how taking a moment of stillness before getting into the next thing affects your experience. As you're ready, on your next inhale, gently press your torso up, and you can come into a cross-legged seat or a supportive seat of your choice. Again, you have the option to bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or just let your hands fall onto your legs. I invite you to close your eyes or find a soft focus in front of you as we take this last minute to be with breath, with body. Inhale. And nice long exhale. Soften the shoulders once more. Notice if there is anywhere you can release a bit of resistance in the jaw, in the eyebrows. Just know that this unfolding process of justice is a process. It takes time, especially if you are looking to shift any patterns that you're aware of within yourself. So just give yourself grace and compassion through your process and know that you're supported the whole way through. Your hands can come to heart center, palms to touch. Deep breath in. And nice long exhale. sending you strength, compassion, and a big hug on your journey and into your day ahead. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Thanks so much for bringing your energy on the exploration of this justice card today. Now, if you like this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe, as you'll be able to support the growth of this channel even more. And then we'll see you next video as we continue this journey into the Hanged Man, where we get a slightly different perspective. I'll see you then.